Roll call.
Benito Hernandez, present.
Joe Perez present.
Javier Ramirez present.
Alexandra Flores present, and for the record, 6:17 p.m. we have Mayor Ricardo Villarreal walking into our meeting.
Thank you, Mayor. Madam President, thank you very much. Appreciate you.
As a reminder, Mayor, Commissioner Garcia is out on a medical issue.
Correct.
I motion to excuse.
Second.
Thank you. Okay, so we roll call, invocation and pledge of allegiance. You may stand up real quick.
Mayor, we didn't take a vote on the motion for Ms. Flores and the second for excusing Mr.
Motion is
Garcia.
second. Okay, yeah, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Ramirez. Appreciate that very much. Dear Lord Heavenly Father, we come before you this blessed day going through and using the verse from James chapter 1, verse 12. Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood good in the test, the person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. So Lord, I ask you, dear Lord Heavenly Father, that all people who struggle, and we all struggle in this fallen world, that you don't tempt us, but test us, and test us through the fire, through the pressure, Lord, and make us come out better because of you. Not because of us, but because of what you've done, dear Lord. This thing I ask in your precious name. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, certified posting of agenda. Leo?
Apologies, Mayor. Michael Leo, City Manager, certified that the agenda was duly posted 72 hours in advance, both outside of City Hall and online for public access as well.
All right, thank you very much. Any public comments? I didn't see any. No, we're good.
Minutes,
Thank
I'll let
you.
you get in.
Thank you. Mayoral proclamation, World Day Against Trafficking in Persons. For July, this was for July the 30th, but I'm gonna go ahead and read it today. So do we have somebody here to present it to, Mr. Leo?
This is on behalf of the District Attorney's Office. I don't know if anybody's here on behalf of the District Attorney's Office, but it was sent at the request.
Okay, all right, great, thank you. So, proclamation, the state of Texas, the county of Hidalgo, city of Palmview, whereas World Day Against Trafficking in Persons provides an opportunity for the city of Palmview to render our commitment in combating the human trafficking in all its forms, and whereas this year's theme focuses on the role of technology as a tool that can both enable and impede human trafficking. Technology allows these criminals to operate intentionally across jurisdictions and evade detection with greater ease. And whereas the intent and digital platforms offer traffickers numerous tools to recruit, exploit, and control victims, organize their transport and accommodation, advertise victims, and communicate among perpetrators. And whereas traffickers use social media to identify, groom, and recruit victims, including children, messaging services are used for coercion of victims, and online platforms to allow traffickers to widely advertise services provided by victims, including child sexual abuse material. And whereas the city of Palmview is working with national, state, regional, and local stakeholders to fight against human trafficking and provide assistance to victims of human trafficking, and whereas we must join together as a community in the city of Palmview to provide a safe haven by protecting our victims and prosecuting these traffickers. With improved victim identification, medical and social services training for first responders, and increased public awareness, the men, women, and children who have suffered this scourge and overcome the bonds of modern slavery, receive protection and justice, and successfully reclaim their rightful independence. And now therefore I, Ricardo Villarreal, Mayor of the City of Palmview, do hereby proclaim July 30th, 2022 as World Day Against Trafficking Persons. Proclaim this 19th day of July 2022. So thank you for the county, and let's keep the word out, to the community of these, horrible things that are happening and not only in our community, but on this planet. And, you know, if you see something or know something, let somebody know. So that's to all of us too watching on social media. Be a part of the solution, not a part of the problem. So thank you to our DA and our county and all our first responders and our officers. God bless you guys. Thank you. Okay, next item, new business. Do we have that? Do we have an order? Mike, we'll take them in that
As of
order?
right now, yes.
Okay. Discussion and possible action on upcoming city events. Staff by Mr. Leo.
That's not Ms. Yvette Lucetta, our event coordinator. We just passed out a calendar for the upcoming events. Staff is looking for a little bit of direction and input to finalize our big event, which is a community fest, which coincides with our 50th year anniversary. We talked about maybe doing it together along with the reception, the dinner reception that we wanted to have. And since we're looking in the fall, maybe to try to coordinate together with our fall fest. So what we'd like to try to discuss right now is the dates, I guess, was the biggest thing. I don't know if this event, do we have any proposed dates, or we're looking in October?
Well, on the calendar, I did the 2 dates on the proposal.
Yeah.
So you guys can come up to choose one of the 2 dates.
I guess the main question here would be, what day we would do the all-day event, and then it would be the Thursday before that, right? So 22nd to 25th.
What do? Do we have any recommendations from the, Mike, from any other, or Yvette, from anybody?
Since we do the fall fest, we do the Halloween theme. The thing, I think it would be best to do it on the 29th, but just in case, we did those 2 dates for you guys to choose one of them.
Any
I agree with
recommendations?
that too.
I
Okay, so do I have, can I entertain a motion?
I so move to approve for the 29th, or option 1.
I second.
For our community fest.
I'll second that.
All right, I have a motion and a second for the 29th.
That's
And
correct.
then the formal dinner on the 27th,
Correct.
is that correct? All right, any questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Hi.
All right, anybody opposed? Motion carries.
Mayor, just some comments along the lines of events. We know a lot of times things move quickly, and an idea comes out for an event, we want to do it, great idea. So, and the one that just came up recently, although we've done it before, is a trash bash. So I know sort of some, is it the trash bash that we call it, trash cleanup, but targeting this Saturday. So if we're still good with that, we'll push for Saturday. It's an opportunity for the community to join in, clean our city, beautify our city. I think the police explorers, we're looking to get them to help out as well. We're trying to limit staff involvement on Saturdays, and we rotate it and so forth, and we try not to ask too much of our guys, giving up their weekends, but they always step up to the call. So if any future initiatives or future events that come up, I think another one just came up recently about setting up a box outside of the gym, right, Mayor? Was it
This
for?
week, believe it's gonna go up there. A love or a gift box for one of our ladies who's running,
Is it Maddie?
Maddie, I
See,
believe.
the Dutch, no, what is it? What's her title? The little girl, the 9-year-old girl, like amazing.
Yeah, she's beautiful, smart, hustling young girl. So,
Yeah.
beautiful prospect for our city. And yeah, and the trash bash this weekend, mayor will be out there, commissioners, y'all are invited to be out there. And anybody who, you wanna go out and help and be a part of it, or if you owe a ticket and wanna knock off some hours, community service, we will welcome you as well.
Maryland's Blessing Box.
Maryland's Blessing Box.
Maryland's
There
Blessing
you
Box.
go.
Is that it?
Yes, is that what it's called?
Thank you.
Yeah, basically, if you need something, take it. If you want to give something, give it. And a wonderful gesture.
And we do that normally with
Yes.
our ladies. Thank you. Okay, so we voted on the item, we got the item, we're doing the trash bash this Saturday.
Right now, we're set for Saturday. We'll start. We're working on the flyer now, so we'll be posting on social media very shortly.
It's usually early in the morning, ¿verdad?
Trash bash.
Sí, yeah.
Yes, we started about 8 o'clock. Yeah, we'll usually, I didn't say the time, but yeah, we'd be here at City Hall at about 7:45, when we take off at around 8. And then we got designated spots already, I'm sure. And, we'll see you out there, come out here and see what we do. You don't have to be necessarily picking up trash, just come out and see what we do and how we do it, and how much we love our city, all right? Item 7.2, discussion of possible action on resolutions authorizing submission of applications for community development block grant disaster recovery funds administered through the Texas General Land Office for the city of Palmview, staffed by Mr. Leo.
Mayor, real quickly, this allows us to move forward with the 2 drainage projects for Riverside subdivision, which is South Showers Road, which is about a $650,000 project, and the Ramirez subdivision, which is Moorfield 19, 20, 21, and 22.
I want to make a motion. Second.
A motion, a second. Any other questions? Okay, so I have a question. You said, go ahead and continue.
Yeah, for that project, which is $450,000, very positive. Everything looks very strongly that how we'll score on these 2. So these were the 2 that were identified. So again, this just allows us to move forward, Mayor.
So these are grants, and for the record, who's helping us with the grant writing?
This one is GrantWorks.
GrantWorks? All right, so thank you to GrantWorks for the record.
These are drainage projects
Drainage projects.
for
Yeah.
Riverside subdivision, and what was the second one?
It's called Ramirez subdivision, which is Moorfield south of 495, where that street is 19, 20, 21, and 22.
They're in serious need of drainage there.
On the east side of town.
Yes, on the farthest east we go.
Is that the only 2, not Spring Glen?
Spring Glen, we're doing it internally. We borrowed, we have the money, so, and we're working with the county on that one. And the county's actually submitting for a grant for Spring Glen for the same grants that we're applying for, but at a different level. That's $1 million project, so.
Okay.
All right, keep us posted on that Spring Glen one as well. Thank you, sir. Any other questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Motion carries. 7.3, discussion and possible action on an agreement for architectural services with Milnet Architectural Services PLLC for the Texas Wildlife Park Development application.
Mayor, this is in conjunction with the Butterfly Association, the project that we've been talking about over there. They were lucky enough to find an architect that's willing to do the initial design of the facility and the park grounds at no charge to the city. Contingency, if it gets funded, then we would look to, move, and if we decide to move forward with the project, then we would have to engage them and pay for the architectural cost. But right now, this is at no cost.
So moved.
Motion?
Second.
Take, who's taking the minutes? Rudy? Okay. You got the second? Okay. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Motion carries. And just FYI, that's a little project that we got about 10 to 12 acres coming and through Texas Parks and Wildlife. So, we're gonna do a little
That's over at the
partnership.
Chihuahua
Correct.
place, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chihuahua, so we're bringing something to the south side of our city. All right, nice little butterfly park. Next item, 7.4, discussion of possible action on a memorandum of understanding with La Jolla Independent School District outlining a reasonable communication and coordination efforts between LJISD-PD and the Palmview Police Department.
I want to make a motion.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
Second, questions? You got a little brief for us?
Lieutenant?
Mayor, City Council, I was just going to say that it's a standard yearly memorandum of understanding. There has been some changes in light of the recent events for Uvalde. So it is currently with legal.
No, it's good.
It's good?
Yeah.
So it has been passed through legal, and so
My,
it is.
my only question is, when you said in light of, the recent events, this means going out there and, with local schools and being, is that included in here? We normally do that, right?
They included a stipulation where they will assign, where they ask for an officer from Palmview when requested.
Thank you.
To the campus.
Yeah, the this is our responsibility. Palmview PD will provide a police officer when feasible to be assigned to a school within their jurisdiction.
Perfect. All right. so,
Is that the only thing that changed with the agreement?
For the moment, yes.
See, okay.
we were already doing it. For the
We're
record,
talking
I
about
believe
our
the-
elementary schools.
I think it applies to all schools, yeah.
Well,
Within
in
our
our
jurisdiction.
in
Within
our
our
jurisdiction, it's 3 elementaries and 1 middle school.
Correct.
So, thank you.
All right. Motion.
So any other questions?
Who had the motion?
All right, so, excuse me?
Was it an action item?
He's taking our notes. Hey, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody
Double
opposed?
duty.
Motion carries.
I'll second, yes.
Fantastic. You got the second?
Yes.
I'll usually help them with it. All right, so thank you very much. And our kids, they're our future.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Yes. Good luck, and congratulations on.
Stand by.
Okay, next
Oh,
item.
he's got
Okay,
money.
7.5, discussion of possible action on the purchase of 3 police Chevrolet Tahoe police unit, police pursuit vehicles for the patrol division, staffed by Mr. Purda.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Mayor, City Council, do not be deceived by the name of the vehicle. It is a police pursuit vehicle, but it is not necessarily just used for that. It is for police service. It is just the name assigned to it by Chevrolet. Now, in this particular instance, in light of the economy and the lack of vehicles that are available for purchase, 3 did come up. We had approved 2 pickups in the past, but we would have to wait for those pickups to come in. These vehicles were from a previously canceled order from a previous customer.
These 3?
So, yes, these 3. So they were available at this moment. The item has not gone through the ESAC committee, which is the Equitable Sharing Agreement
You know what, if
committee.
I may take a motion and a second so we can continue discussing?
Well, just for clarification, we will be
Okay.
putting it through the ESAC.
Subject to.
Okay.
Sub-
And those funds are coming from?
2 of the vehicles are going to be fully purchased through asset and forfeiture. One of them, we are working with our city administration to purchase one through the city, but the upfit will come through asset and forfeiture as
And
well.
where are we getting these from?
They are from Silsby Chevrolet, a buy-board vendor in North Texas.
We got the
Want to
best
make a
price.
motion?
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir. The pricing, it was negligible.
And can, for the record, can
Uh,
I take a second?
I'll take a second. I'll-
Okay, there it is, go ahead, continue.
It was approximately $1,500 to $2,000 difference between the pickup and the Tahoe. So,
And the availability, they have it availability like now, ready to
Yeah.
go, whereas the others, we'd have to wait till October, November. so.
we did attempt to go through the local vendor as well. They have a similar instance, but the vehicles that for them won't be coming in maybe in October or maybe until December, so we would have to wait all of that time plus the upfit time, which would give it approximately about another month to 2 months
Okay.
after. So we wouldn't see those vehicles till the turn of the 2023.
And you mentioned one was a Tahoe and the other?
No, all 3 are Tahoes.
All 3 are Tahoes.
All 3 are
Okay.
Tahoes.
All right, any other questions? Thank you again. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Okay, motion carries.
For the record, Mayor, we are taking it to the ESAC committee as well. They had previously approved the 2 trucks, but to be in conjunction with our policy, because we're using asset forfeiture funds, we will convene that committee and let them know what council has approved.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Thank you too. Good luck on that one, I'm sure we'll get it. 7.6, consideration and acceptance for clinical affiliation agreement by and between TEEX and Palmview Fire Department.
Good afternoon, Mayor and City Council. TEEC stands for Texas Engineering Extension Service. It's a division of Texas A&M. They reached out to us, as you know, they have a campus here in the Valley, and they wanted to have an affiliation agreement similar to what we have with STC. So when they have students going through their paramedic program, that they were able to ride out with us as well. That's what that is.
Okay,
Make a motion.
I'll second.
and a second.
Is that
Questions? Any other-
action item?
Yes, sir.
It is, okay.
Yeah, well, that's a good consideration, yeah, it is. Motion second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Good luck on that one. Yeah, it was worded
Mhm.
a little different.
Consideration should be, that tells it all.
7.7, discussion and possible action regarding a resolution providing for the appointment of one member of the Planning and Zoning Board, staffed by Mr. Flores.
Yes, Mayor and Council, the planning and member term for Ms. Norma Chapa has ended. It ended on July 2nd, and she has served 1 term with the board, and she has expressed the interest to continue serving on the board. So we would need to, one appointment for.
I'll second.
Okay, motion, and we'll take, whoever you heard first over there. All in, and the second? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you, good luck, and let her know. 7.8, discussion of possible action to contract accounting firm to conduct the annual financial audit for fiscal year September 30th, 2021.
Mayor, on this one, council had previously approved the RFQ to go out. We did receive 3 proposals. Those were opened by finance and in conjunction with HR and staff. They were reviewed. We did put together a summary of those qualifications. We are going to want the opportunity to discuss it with council along with your attorney regarding the contract setup. So unless anybody has any questions on that one, I think we can defer that into a discussion in executive session with your attorney.
I'll motion to move to executive.
Second.
A second. Any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 7.9, discussion and possible action to select an agent of record regarding employee insurance health benefits.
Mayor, on this one as well, we put out a packet. There was about, I think, 6 respondents to this one. So there's more interest. Staff put together some comparisons, some qualifications. We do have some of the entities that responded to those that, you know, if council wants to hear from that, we didn't have anything set formally where we were going to allow them all to make presentations. Right now, we're looking at the qualifications. Again, we are going to have a discussion with council in executive if council so wishes, so you can consult with your attorney because there are some contractual questions that we need to clarify.
Did we get the ranking and all that completed today?
I think staff is ready to talk about it, and that's one of the things that you're gonna, you know, if you're okay with what we have so far, or you know what, we also need to do this, we also need to do that to take that into consideration, then we may need some time. At most, we may need another week, but I think again, it depends on how comfortable we feel moving forward. You know, they're checking references, they're checking past clients, you know, they're doing all the due diligence.
So we move this to executive.
I'd like to hear from HR before we
Okay.
move forward, so we could see, well, I mean, not at the moment, right, but
So
so we
move to
can
take
see,
seven
like, what
minutes.
is it
So-
that we're looking
So
for?
do I have a motion?
So move to take into
Second?
executive.
Go ahead, Mr. Villarreal. You got any comments? Because it's an important move for us, you know.
I think we're gonna take it to executive, right?
Right.
We can.
We can bring them in, yeah.
I'll
we can bring
second.
them in.
All right, motion is second to take this item into executive session. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, motion carries. We'll take 2 items. Item 8, monthly department reports.
Mayor, on this, we're gonna try something a little bit different. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how council feels. As some of you may recall, with reports, the department heads used to come out, give their report. It gives you, the council, the opportunity to engage them, ask questions, you know, tell them your thoughts on what we wanna see and so forth. But, you know, we stopped doing that, you know, right before COVID. You know, sometimes it doesn't, truth be told, it makes the meeting go a little bit longer. So we save those kind of things for workshops and so forth. And then with COVID, we try to keep our attendance limited, so we ask, you know what, department heads, don't go to meetings unless we need to, we'll let you know. But again, we're gonna use this opportunity, maybe we don't do it every month, you know, maybe we do it quarterly or every so often. We're gonna be calling on each department head as we go down the line and hear from them. Again, feel free to ask them, you know, give your input, your feedback, what you wanna see for future meetings presented and so forth. And we'll try to go through this quickly, we're actually doing pretty good on time right now, so glad to hear. So I think we might be okay on time. Before we go down the line, I do want to call on Parks and Rec first, 8.4. Mr. Lugo, always busy, of course. They have games literally going on right now, so he's got to get back there. But Mr. Lugo is going to give us a presentation on some of the things that happened in this last month and how our track and field events went and what we're doing for the teams that, you know, that went to qualifying to state and so forth. So with your permission, Mayor, we'd like to give Lugo the floor.
Go ahead, Mr. Lugo.
Mayor, City
Welcome back,
Council.
sir.
The what? Welcome back, yes, welcome back. Same here. Yes, we started our summer program. I don't know where to start, but I need to start somewhere. Summer camp, golf, track, baseball all-star teams, and then our summer leagues for baseball, flag football, volleyball, and I know I'm missing one, basketball. It's been trying to do 6 sports for the summer. Keep the kids busy as much as we can, but it's also a challenge. A couple of the highlights was, of course, our track. Our second year, we had a track meet that we hosted. We brought in $12,300 both days. Expense-wise, we had spent we're giving $5,000 to the athletes that are advancing. 20 of our athletes competed and in the regionals and advanced to the state of Texas games in Corpus. So a couple of those coaches were saying that they had a good shot at winning it all. So that's an improvement from last year.
When's that one coming up?
That's coming up this weekend. I think they leave on Wednesday. I think it's Thursday through Sunday is the events.
How many participants were there?
At the games?
Pro.
We had 130 that participated. They were practicing Monday through Thursday, and then they had our meets were on. I'm sorry, Monday to Wednesday. The meets were Thursday and Friday. So there's like 5 meets throughout the valley, and we were one of them that hosted. I think it was. It was in June 30th and July the 1st here at the Palmview High School. So that went pretty good. I do like to ask the other teams how many coaches they had, and they all had like 10, 15, 20. And then when they asked me how many we had, I said 4 to 6. So they can't believe that we had 4 to 6.
We're efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So that's, but I do like to ask that questions when those track people were coming in. I was just curious to see how many they had. So to me, I think we have the 5 best coaches in the valley. I wouldn't trade them for anybody. They do a very good job, and they really get into it. So that was our track. That was for the track. Now we did spend between the tent and some other expenses, the awards, that kind of stuff, and then paying for the rooms in Corpus. I think it's like $4,000, and then we give in $5,000 to the athletes, so $9,000 out of the $12,300. So hopefully next year it'll be a little bit better. It was better than last year, so the good thing is that we're on that rotation now every year for that, and then there's been talk that we might be able to do a regional, which would be better than what we have right now. So that's in the plans for hopefully the next couple of years. The other biggest thing that we had, of course, is our baseball program, our all-star teams. I know I was here 5 years ago, and Mayor was here, and Mr. Ramirez was here. Well, that was my first year here, and my first year here, we had 2 teams go to the World Series in Louisiana. I did make a comment that once I was in McAllen for 38 years, and one of our teams over there won it in 2008, and to me that was the best experience I've ever had. I did make a comment that if one of our teams ever won the World Series, it was time to leave. So, well, I guess they lost. I mean, they were okay. They did good, but they came in 3rd, 4th, or 5th. Now this year, for whatever reason, we had 7 teams that advanced to the Zone and World Series. We've never had that before. And the scary part was that our 6-and-under team and our 8-and-under team, there were our 2 best teams going into the All-Stars, had to pull out because they didn't have enough kids to go to the Zone, to the World Series. And those were our 2 best teams. So we would have had 9 teams, 1 in each age division, advanced either to the Zone tournament or to the World Series. And nobody here in the valley has ever done that before. So we were close. Now we had the 7-and-under, 4-and-under went to Deer Park last week. The 7-and-under team, they were 2-2 in the pool play. They did not advance to the championship games, but they lost 2 very close games that they could have played for the championship games on that Saturday. That was our Warriors team. Our 4-and-under team, for whatever reason, they went undefeated in pool play. And you're talking about 3- and 4-year-olds. They're in the hot sun playing 2 games a night, 2 games a day, sometimes at 11 o'clock in the morning and then 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And somehow they got by, and they were undefeated in their pool play 4-0. They got to play the first, they were the Final 4. So in the first game, they also won their first game in the round games, in the bracket games. So they actually were playing for the championship that night, the 4-and-under. Now, of course, they came in second. I think they got beat 17-10. But the coach said that those kids really had a good time, and parents had a good time, and everybody behaved, and they didn't think they were going to go that far themselves. But I mean, it makes you Just think that with good hard practice and dedication by the parents, really, and the kids, I mean, they can do anything they set their foot to. But they came in second, and that was very good. Our 10 and under team and 12 and under team were leaving today to Deer Park. The 10 under team, a couple of those kids could not make it, so at the very last minute, they had to also pull out. And that was also one of our better teams. But the 12 and under is going in, they left today to Deer Park. The 14 and under, they're going to Louisiana at the end of the month, and that's the 14 and under team, the elite team, coached by Mr. Lopez. That team is also very good, and it wouldn't be surprising if they won that tournament and go to the World Series in Washington, Pennsylvania. So they're one tournament away from going to Pennsylvania, and that would be a neat experience, and hopefully I can go there with them if they advance. But they have a very good shot. It was our teams. They just I don't know. They just, when it comes to all stars, they take it to another level, and they all are committed. The parents are committed, and they're out there playing. I mean, even on those hot days, and it just doesn't matter. The 400 had to win 2 games in Harlingen at 11 and at 1 to advance to Deer Park, and they won both games. So it was. We're very excited with our program for baseball. We do it year round. We do also want to do the other programs year round. We try to. Right now the level as far as participation, it's sometimes it's hard. I mean, the baseball side, you don't do anything with them. They just show up. Mm-hmm. And basketball, flag football, volleyball, you actually have to go into their homes and bring them out. But I mean, we don't give up, and we're trying to get there like we do the baseball. But the baseball is just it's probably the best one here in the valley as far as the rec site on our teams, and so that has been our summer. And,
Mr. Lugo, just out of curiosity, what has been one of the challenges of why these athletes are having to pull out from the All-Stars? Is it financial, or is it maybe the COVID is coming back?
Well, the 10 under team said that 2 of the kids was financial reasons, and I did tell them, I said, look, you should have mentioned that to me before that was going to happen. That we could have made arrangements. I would check with my boss, and we would have made arrangements or get some donations and have those kids go. But I gave him a call this morning to remind him to see what time they were leaving. And then he said, no, we can't go because of those 2 kids. I said, well, Coach, you should have let me know. You should have said something before. Yeah. The other 2, the 6 and under, they had already committed to their own World Series that they have it they're playing a year in advance. Mm-hmm. Yes, and by the same token, I told the coach, look, if you knew that was going to happen, you should have never gotten involved. So he played a couple of tournaments, won here, and then when it was time for the actual tournament that counts, they pulled out. So I wasn't very happy with that either. But we did have 7 teams that are out there that did advance. Our little girls, 10 under girls, they just came back from Laredo, so they didn't place, but they ended up playing maybe like 8 games against teams all over Texas. So they had a very good experience as far as that. On the 10 under softball.
And for those 7 teams, I don't know if you mentioned it, Mr. Lugo, we were still able to help out and give, every year we give a certain amount, but usually it's 2 teams, 3 teams, this time, oh shoot, 7 teams, what are we gonna do? So we had to come up with more money to be able to equally distribute among the 7 teams that made it. I think it was $1,500 per team, no?
Yeah, I think, no, we did 1,000 per team. Yeah. That was like 7, we were not expecting 7. Usually you get 2 or 3. Yeah. I mean, 7, which is good. I mean, the more the better. But it was just, I mean, it should have been really 9, but those 2 teams that couldn't make it because they had already been committed to another tournament. That was.
Are we gonna recognize them at some point?
Yes, I think we have to do it in a couple of meetings because I mean I do like to bring everybody. I like to bring everybody in once they come back, even the track people. But yeah, I don't think we can do 7 in one day. So we'll probably do it, spread it out in a couple of nights, couple of days. Get some nice awards for them and present them to them, and they really did a good job, and
That's great.
they had a good
So
time.
proud of them.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Lugo. Your hard work and determination does not go unnoticed, sir.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Lugo, for all that you do.
Our track is pretty good. I was
Yeah.
I know last year I wasn't that crazy about doing it because of the COVID. We did it last year for the first time, and we had a good little turnout. But the good thing about doing it last year, then it kept us in the rotation now from here on out. So by us doing it last year, they said, well, then we need to put you guys in there from here on out. So
I think the crowd size doubled from last
yes, it
year.
was a good sized crowd, but like I said, I still give it up to our coaches. I mean, to me, they're just. I know they work with some of them work with the school district here in La Jolla, and most of the kids were from La Jolla School District. I know we had a few from Mission, but it was mostly the Jolla School District, so we're doing it for them. We were using a Palmview High School, which is also a lot better. So everything had worked out okay, and I'm pretty sure next year is going to be better and bigger. So. And hopefully one of our teams does win the World Series this year anyways.
What does that mean?
Careful what you wish
No,
for.
it just means that when I got here, I also told a story that when I got here, I saw a difference between McAllen and here. And here, when I saw the parents signing up their kid for the sport, I mean, they just went all out, and whatever they had to do, they dedicated that on their kid. Whatever it needed to be done, it showed me that they were really committed, and they just blew my mind away, because I was in a place for 38 years and it was a little bit different. And I just saw, when I saw that, I just figured, well, that's one of the reasons why they're always on top, because the parent goes all out. No matter the expense on some, for the most part, but they'll commit to the kid and 110%, and they'll let you know if you do something wrong, and keep you on your toes. But I've had a good report with the parents up to now, so it's been good. But the baseball program is here in Palmview is, to me, the best in the
Second
valley.
to none.
And the track, to me, is the best in the valley. And our coaches that we have is the best in the valley. And I wouldn't trade them for nobody. Or our teams. I
If
wouldn't
we
trade our
can
teams.
recognize them maybe on Facebook, maybe do a post or something,
we can
just
do
to
that, yes.
kind of put the teams out there and give them a little bit of recognition before we bring them up here.
Okay.
I think they'll appreciate that.
I know it took a little bit too long, but all right.
We're doing good on
It was
It was a long summer.
it was a good.
It's good information, though, it's great.
See?
It's great to hear that. Thank you, Mr. Ru.
Okay. And
Thank you, sir.
Very, very proud.
Thank you.
We're very proud of our kids, and we're proud of your program, and we're proud of our town.
We're a baseball factory.
We can go back in order now, Mayor, back to 8.1. Actually, for City Secretary, Annette is out, but again, you have her monthly report. What she was going to touch on was the passports. It's proven to be successful. Year-to-date, over 9,000 collected, but it's not so much the fees, but the service that it provides, giving our citizens an opportunity. Hey, I don't have to go all the way to McAllen or over here, have somewhere close by. You know, I can count on my city for that, so we're proud of that.
I guess one of the things that I have to mention there is that a lot of people out there don't know that they think it's only for Palmview.
Oh.
And they've reached out to me saying, hey, I hear there's passports, but is it only for Palmview residents? So maybe we can promote that
Okay.
it's for everybody that, you know.
And we try to throw in a Saturday here and there, you know, so we're gonna continue to look at that. If there's enough interest to, you know, a couple of hours on a Saturday, because the flexibility of schedule is big for a lot of people.
And we do take pictures here too, right?
We asked, no, actually we do. I take it back, we do.
Right? We do take the picture. Some
Yes.
people were interested in,
Sí.
I guess for passport reasons, but I don't know if they were
Yeah.
getting somewhere else, but, you know, that's great.
So I guess, Mayor, we can go on to 8.2.
Fire Department, Chief?
On the fire department side, you all have our call volume for the month of June. Actually, June was a little bit slow for us for whatever reason. It's been busier, but a lot of our calls right now, excluding June, has been a lot of heat-related emergencies because it's been so hot.
Right.
We have had conversations with department heads within the city limits as far as limiting staff outside after 2 o'clock p.m. To kind of be preventive, to not have those emergencies happen here. So that's really the big thing. Of course, you know, right now we're getting back into dryness, no water. There's a high probability of water conservation coming down here pretty soon because reservoirs are starting to dry out and it's kind of getting to that level. And with that, our calls are going to increase as far as grass fires, as far as things of that nature, because it's just going to be dry again, and it doesn't take very much for it to start. So
Burn ban? Didn't see
I haven't heard anything from the county level as far as that goes. But if it persists for a long time, I'm pretty sure it'll probably be coming back because we've already had like 4 big fires in the past 48 hours. So it's starting to get really busy again. So.
How are we on staff? Are we doing, we have a good rotation going?
Yeah,
How are we on staff? Are we doing, we have a good rotation going?
Yeah, our staff works 20, they work 24 hours and we have 3 shifts. If it gets really, really busy again, like it did in like mid to late May, then we bring in extra staff because we know we're going to get more calls. Even though we run 6 per shift right now, sometimes when it gets that busy, we try to bring in at least 8 to 9 per shift because we know we're going to have so many calls. And with us, all it takes is about 10-15 minutes and then you're done because it's just so hot, and then the gear and things of that nature. So it gets very taxing. So when that happens, we do prepare and we do bring in extra staff. So if whenever y'all do get the chance, if y'all would like to swing by, come by and visit us, to see how we operate, to see how we do things, come by the station, and that we can see all what happens on a daily basis. So I invite you all, and thank you all so much for all the support, and thank you all for everything.
Sounds good, thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Municipal Court?
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council.
Good afternoon.
I have here, breakdown. Report. Is a comparison to prior years for the same months. Summer's always a little slower, as you can see. But my numbers are there. We do have, most of our tickets do get paid, with scofflaw. That has helped a lot. Lineberger as well. And we do offer the community service. And we offer also the amnesty for whoever qualifies.
So how many do we have coming out Saturday? Do we have any
Not yet.
yet?
We haven't promoted it yet.
Okay.
Okay.
That's why we needed
Oh,
the
yeah.
approval. Once we promote it, then we have people calling in
Community service?
to do community service for the trash bash.
Okay.
Yes. We also, if any also, sometimes Public Works do ask us, if, let's say they're shorthanded, they let us know, Parks and Recs as well. We do also community service for them.
Okay.
So whoever wants to qualify, or whoever wants to get help, that way we can help that way as well.
We have them for our 4th of July event though.
Yes, we did have a couple of them
We have
for 4th of July. It's a lot of
Great,
help.
it's good.
So our numbers will get picked up. It's usually slow because a lot of people do go out during the summer, but our busy months would be the beginning of the year. So our numbers are there.
It's amazing how in the 19, that was COVID, right? We
That
had a-
2020. 2020 was,
2019.
but it was in June.
On the month of
Oh.
June.
Yes.
I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
Well,
Depends how you want to see it.
Well, a lot of people
from our
weren't out.
perspective or from the
the
public
total
perspective.
looks good.
So we had like from 500 violations to 200 violations in the month of June, per se, right?
Yes,
That was in 2019.
2019. Yes, it varies.
And then you compare that to 2020, that's almost half,
Less than half.
less than half, yeah, less than half.
So I guess as citations are less, it means people are behaving.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
So thank you, Palmview,
Thank you.
for
Well,
doing
that's
a
my,
good job yourselves.
all right, thank you.
Thank you so much, Yvette.
PD,
Don't worry, there's no action item.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council. Well, on the PD side, whereas there have been a decrease in the number of citations issued, there has been an uptick on calls for service and incidents. A lot of those are involving domestics and mental health calls. Generally, they take a little bit longer than most other calls because it's not just a report. It involves the officers getting more involved in the call itself. Aside from the uptick in calls for service, on the project side, on the PD, we currently have the Explorer Academy underway. By the way, you should be receiving your invitations for the graduation, which is set for the 27th on Wednesday from 11 to 1:30.
What Wednesday? Tomorrow?
The 27th.
The 27th. Yes, which will be held here at the gym. We've tried this concept for a few years already, minus COVID, of course, where we reached out to our local, state, and federal partners, and to help us teach many of the courses that are taught in the Explorer Academy. We've had a parade of DPS, Border Patrol. God's willing, we have a Texas Ranger coming in tomorrow. But we've also reached out to non-law enforcement agencies. As a matter of fact, we have a professor from UTRGV coming in tomorrow as well. She will be giving a presentation to the kids on mental health and self-care. So it's going to be it's a very robust academy for the kids. Of course, the project is ongoing the year round. So our kids are already receiving invitations. One of the ones that sticks out is in the beginning of August for the Sullivan City NNL. They reached out and invited our kids over, well, as well as the agency, of course, but our explorers, they invited them over and so they could participate in their event. On July 30th, on a Saturday, I believe Bevel's Angels is partnering up with our youth club as well to have a soccer camp.
it's on the 30th,
Yes.
they talked about that.
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Lugo, see,
Yeah, I briefly talked to him before he left back to the
we
game.
were thinking of doing something, maybe we can work something.
Yeah, well, the way that the representative from Bevel's Angels explained it to me is that it's open to all children with disabilities. It's not just children with autism. So it's going to be a more inclusive event. They did approach us. They do want participation with the police department. So I'm working on getting some officers to be out there with the kids, as well as our Explorer post. I believe it would be very good exposure for those that actually want to be law enforcement officers in the future, to be able to deal with these types of environments.
Yes.
I don't want to put a specific label on
Yeah.
on a single
All
person. So,
inclusive.
yes. So we're working on that as far as the operational things on the PD, the uniforms, of course, you all are aware of the uniforms, the units, the laptops, and other equipment that should be coming. We will be presenting other items that are necessary for the PD. Some of those are, of course, I bring up Uvalde once again, because we cannot forget and we cannot let that happen to our children. So we need to make sure that we are prepared, yeah, as an agency to assist anybody any school that needs our help.
Interviews?
Interviews, we currently have a couple going through background investigation, so we need to complete those first before we go on to interview.
What about our laptops? Have we gotten those almost?
I have them pulled out of the boxes, turned on. I just need to be dropping them into the units to start setting up accounts for the different systems that they need to be put on them.
Are you gonna be installing them, or are you gonna have? a
Yeah,
system with
I'm
another
close to
agency?
completion on it.
Oh, okay.
I'm close to completion on it, so I might as well see it through.
Okay.
There are a couple of other things that I will be reaching out to other vendors and personnel out there to help me out complete any other IT projects that might come.
So, yeah, if there's anything that you need, like, help with, I'm sure.
Yeah, I do
Michael knows.
cover these items with Mr. Leo
Okay,
closely.
great.
Yeah, because, I mean, since a lot of the IT is not necessarily budgeted for,
Uh-huh.
we need to make sure that
See.
we're getting all those things covered.
Sounds great.
Any other questions?
Thank you,
Anybody else?
Lieutenant. Thank you for.
Thank you, good luck with
Thank you.
those units we talked about earlier.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir. PD Planning and Zoning, Code Enforcement?
And so, perfect.
Yes, Mayor and Council. So this month for permits was a slow month for us as well. Compared to last year, we're down 59% for the month. But for the year to date, we're currently at 161,000. We budgeted 132, so we're already above the budget. So we've already met our mark, but we continue to, for the next 3 months to collect. Last year, at this time, we were at 110,000. So compared to last year, we're about 50,000 over. So
That is for what, Rudy, exactly?
for permits,
Oh, okay.
Permits,
Just
yes.
collecting.
Collected,
Oh,
yes.
Great.
yeah, so we are doing better compared to last year.
The response to get the permits on
The
the.
turnaround
To the permits, it's about 5 to 7 days, like once we receive the permit, if everything is there, it takes about 5 to 7 days for us to review them. So it's, there's a lot to look at and make sure we have all the proper documentation. So that's taking a little bit of time right now, but we have increased also on the inspections. We were at 165 and 122 last year, so it's another increase that we can show there. As far as on the code enforcement side, we did send out 15 weedy lot notices, and of those 15 so far, 6 have been cut. So we are following through with the rest of them. If we have to continue to process them with court, we will continue with that. As far as on code enforcement issues as well, we increased notices from 101 from 84 last year, so about 20% more notices were issued.
How about our one business over here, like late May, that we went in there and cited them? How are things going with that?
They have followed up with fire and ourselves as well, and we're working with them to try and make sure it gets corrected with that.
Rudy, and the weedy lots, do we take any action and then charge the people there, or do we contract out and then charge the people?
At this point, we're trying to go the route of through court to try and start finding them to see if that's going to get them to do it. At a point, we are going to probably have to, but we've noticed we've talked to other cities and they do this and they rarely collect. So we wanted to try this first to see if that's going to help us out. But if not, ultimately we would have to cut it.
Just for the benefit of the neighbors, if anybody has
Yes.
it gets a little bit too high.
Yes.
Safety hazard.
I'll try and get a schedule of.
We'll look at both
Process.
options, 'cause if we do it in-house, we just gotta keep track of the man hours, the equipment used, and we'll file a lien against that. We may never collect unless they try to sell the property at some point in the future, or we contract a third party, whatever they charge us, we'll charge them as well. We just can't go into private property without going to the proper process first, which, you know, and we're including the courts as well as an enforcement tool.
With the increase of work, are you finding yourself or your department shorthanded, or are y'all okay?
We're okay. We're okay. We're
I
okay.
mean, this
but-
is what we need to know.
Yeah.
This is what
No,
we need
no.
to know so that we are
I think
efficient.
out in the field, if we're able to focus on just that, the main thing that is taking a lot of time is the solid waste, with the billing and the collections, I guess the work orders to go verify some of that.
That takes from what you're,
Yeah, that probably
It's time consuming.
takes a lot of time from inside the office. The field guys, they're pretty,
work efficient.
they're pretty, they're capable of doing what they need to out in the field. It's just the inside staff, with that solid waste, it takes I would say probably 50% of the time.
How many
Yeah,
people do you have on the inside, total?
2,
Under
4.
you?
It's two clerks in the front and myself and Monica, the planning supervisor. So, and we do have Nayeli who's in the drive-through, but that's strictly for collections. Collections, and with that we do on the drive-through. I did look at the collections. We get 55% of the people that pay go through the drive-through, so it is busy for her as well. 55%, only 27% pay online, and about 18% pay here inside the office. So the majority is through drive-through. Yes, and
But still in person of some kind.
yes,
We're old school.
Convenient, more convenient.
Maybe we still need to promote it a little bit more. We have a new website. Website. Hopefully it's easier to get that complete by then. If for some reason they're more, I guess, they can miss a payment because they're coming in and they forget and so forth.
Do we have a recurring?
yes, they are able to set up auto pay online as
Are
well.
those 18, are all 18% on auto pay or
No,
no?
no, I didn't get a percent. I could get a percent on that the next time, just to get a number. Yeah.
Any other questions?
Is there anything we could do for your department to help you function a little easier?
I think
mean, you can write those
Yeah,
recommendations
I will.
down and
I'll
we
look at
can-
it so we can
Yeah.
discuss
we
on
can
things, but
bring it to the workshop.
Yeah, I would say take it
Yes.
to the
More
workshop.
time than
Yes, I
Google.
will. I will. I will. Yeah.
Thank you so
All
much
right,
for
thank
being
you.
here.
Thank you.
And
Mhm.
public works.
And then Public Works monthly report.
Hello, good afternoon, Mayor and Commissioners.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. On the monthly reports, you can see it on there. Maintenance, right-of-way cleaning, you got a total of 11 areas. Got on your facility side, City Hall, Pavilion, gym, substation. That's on a daily basis. And then you got your street light maintenance and inlet maintenance with the stormwater department.
What's being worked on currently? What are the projects?
On which, on the stormwater, you got
Just
yeah.
like this last week, what are?
well, every day, what you go over is your asset essentials, which is your work orders. So work orders can be from right-of-way cleaning, debris pickup, can be tree trimming, etc. Potholes, whatever it may be, whatever the citizens call in for. Stormwater, specifically or drainage team, they're on the South Green Road right now. They should be finishing up by the end of the week.
What we have talked about is trying to come up with a system where we know where their team is gonna be the rest of the week, the rest of the month. You know, there's some cities that they're able to schedule their right-of-way cleaning, mowing for a year in advance. Every month they know what cycle, what area they're gonna hit. So we wanna have a system like that. Same thing with the drainage crews, where they've hit and so forth. We met on this earlier, it just needs more, we need to get more involvement and more input from the rest of the team to give the data, to put it in. We did an investment into an asset management system that allows us to track all of this. They're doing a really good job of using it for their work orders, which takes, probably, half of their day. But in terms of tracking everything that we're doing and the progress and what we have and what we need to do, that's where we want to step it up to have better data to report to you guys, to show the reports of where we're at, what we've done, and where we're going to be.
It's for a total team buy, in other words, for my supervisors to actually use it to full potential, so we can actually give those reports specifically what it entails.
Okay. What about the drainages that are off the expressway? Who takes care of
TxDOT.
those? I'm sorry?
TxDOT.
TxDOT? So when we notice it and it's like
It's,
covered with debris, who's supposed to report that?
we report, well, either a citizen calls in, because we've gotten calls from citizens, they report it, we put a work order, or we just call TxDOT to
Okay,
submit
because I've
it.
seen several of them, and it's just like,
I mean, we can,
Trash on it.
I don't know if we can do it or not, I mean, it's, we're,
no, well, maybe
But, yeah.
we need to report it.
now, it's a complete blockade or something like literally jammed in there, we'll pull it out, because that's immediate.
See,
Attention
I think what
required.
I've seen is just mainly like brush, like just big,
Yeah, that's another thing we fall into in our swells, the canalitos, what they call them in Spanish, is you see the people out there, they put their branches and stuff, so it accumulates the leaves, and it traps all that, whatever debris in there, and it doesn't let the water flow.
Talk about drainage and swells, how are we doing right now with the swells? I know that hurricane season's coming.
Yeah, actually, they did some cleanups, and I would give you some, on a different report, but, like I said, currently right now, they're fixing the swells in, South Green Road, and they should finish up by the end of the week. And then from there, they're gonna continue on, South Lahoma. We had an issue, with some some work orders, where this past rain last week, we had a resident come in and, showed me some video of where we needed some better upgrading there.
The one in the Homa, is it already finished? Did you all finish those wells?
They did the swells there, but the south end of it, towards,
The canal?
right before the canal, there's on your left-hand side, there's a resident there that had gets it washed out, or, because, I don't know if you've seen it, but where the water flows down, it goes with kind of some kind of some velocity in it. So it goes into her house, and it turns to her house instead of going to where it's supposed to go. So we called in for some markings in that area. It should be marked tomorrow. We called them on Friday. It takes about 3 or 4 days to mark for lines. Once that's done, then we'll create the swell to go towards that outlet, or inlet, I'm sorry.
Before they're able to do it, the utilities have to go on there. Yeah, there's a cable line here, there's a gas line here, there's this line before you tear it. So they usually respond, within a couple of days to get a mark.
any updates on the Tierra Linda Canal?
Catalina Canal, they are actually working on it right now. They're in process with it. We went out there yesterday. So if you see it out there, you can see the big old huge
Yes.
They're already
pipes.
working
And
on
they're,
it?
yeah, they already closed off the section. Yeah, there's some
It looks
equipment
like
out
they're
there.
working on the corners, like on the
Yeah.
492 side, behind Tierra Linda, where all the water goes to. They're already starting to fill that part, and they're gonna move that back, so they'll concentrate on the corners, and they'll work their way to the inside.
Yeah, that's gonna be a great relief for those residents whose backyards were already starting to
Falling to the road.
It was
falling-
literally in
yeah,
their
they're
backyard.
falling down.
Yeah, we actually went out there about last week, and we saw some residents, and it was,
Yeah, I could hate to imagine if nothing was being done and they were just still left there with no assistance.
I think in general, we need to upgrade and update our drainage. Obviously, we know that's an issue by far, so we're doing what we can with what we have right now. We currently have 8 on the street maintenance side employees, actually 7. We lost Mr. Rodriguez, I mean, he retired. And then we have 2 on the drainage side right now, so we're
What about staffing? Do we have openings, or do we're complete?
We have one vacancy on the
Yes.
drainage side, and assuming we're able to work with Mr. Rodriguez's vacancies, we may have 2 more.
And I think that's one of the biggest challenges is manpower. We have equipment. I mean, we don't have everything, but we do have some equipment out there that we can use. We just need the hands to put it on there and use it. Yeah, to work on it. And then, you see, I'm sure you all see it out there. I know Commissioner Perez out there's gone out there with me where we see the guys working on the swells. I mean, it's like 2 guys right now, one with a shovel and the other one, it's.
Manual.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, sometimes you have to put a shovel in there, and sometimes, obviously, the backhoe can only do so much. I mean, it's big. So it is straining on the guys. And obviously, the guys on the street maintenance side, I mean, from asphalt to cutting trees and picking up brush, I mean, it's a little difficult. It's with the heat también. So that's one thing we need to look into is maybe upgrading our workforce out there.
What about the street project? Do Do you have any updates on that?
On which one
For the street
particularly?
paving,
Yeah.
we haven't had, we're having a special meeting on Thursday to consider the change order that was negotiated. We came to I guess a consensus at our workshop last week where we talked about where, you know what, we can work with this. To make it formal, council needs to act on it. That's on the agenda Thursday. If you're good with it, we move forward with the same contractor, stay on schedule. The increase is not gonna be what we thought it was gonna be at first, thanks to negotiations. So they said as soon as they get that, they can start, you know, like within a day or two. We're hoping that this time it's for, sure.
Yeah.
We've heard things like that before.
At
But
the end of July.
Now we can re-alert the community about those projects here, hopefully.
I don't even wanna say anything.
Yeah, let's tell us
Let's
one
just
thing,
let
but
them
there's
see,
a delay on
then
it, so
go
that
out there
kind
and
of.
do it.
process.
Give them a date, and then
We
that
apologize for
Don't
that.
give them a date.
But some of the things that, I mean, it's kind of out of our control. I mean, they have, you know,
But you understand the frustration from the citizens as
Oh.
well. Like they're ready and they're waiting, and you give them one date and then it doesn't happen, and then we change the date and then
Don't
there
give them a
it is.
date.
Yeah,
It's tough, so.
we just need to not let it go and be a little more
Right.
assertive on, what is it that we need to do to move forward? And don't walk away without an answer. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I think that's it, right?
Yes, that's all we have for reports. We're ready for executive session if you're ready, Mayor.
All right, next item, executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code 551-071, 551-072, 551-073, 551-074, 551-076, and 551-087. Do I have a motion?
Motion to
A
go into
second.
executive session.
Motion and a second at 7:23. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, motion carries. We're gonna be going into executive session. If you can excuse us, we will remain here for executive session. So you
Council will
can
remain
step
here.
out
We'll
if you
just-
want.
Exit this room. Feel free to stay in the lobby if you want to stick around.
Saying aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. And item 7.9, I'm gonna take a motion, first of all, to table the items. This is the first time we've ever gone out for RFQs in this manner. And so we're gonna ask and give all the entities involved a chance to come and present to us, hopefully on Monday.
We're looking at scheduling a special meeting for Monday, possibly in the noon hour. Each respondent will have the opportunity to come in, do a short presentation for about 5 minutes, because we're gonna, we have the qualifications, we have the packets, those will be shared with council as well. But anything that you wanna share that's not in the packet, it's a personal touch, feel free to do so. Once we finalize that, we will advise all the parties, but we're gonna probably post that before the end of the week.
I'll motion a table.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you, and no action on on both items.
No, on 9.1, we do have action, Mayor. We are asking that council authorize city manager to execute the real estate lease agreement with Responsive Education, subject to legal review.
On a motion by Mr. Ramirez, second by Mr. Perez. Any other questions? And I apologize on that one, yes. Hot topic. We got the building back, we got more for the kids, and we're gonna continue to graduate kids here with Premier.
That is correct. Some of the highlights, Mayor, of that new agreement will include higher revenue for the city coming in, a little over almost 2,000 more a month coming in. In addition, the city will also increase their space use, and the city will now have space for the library to be able to operate after 4 o'clock on weekends. We're also going to be getting more space use for the shared computer lab, so the city will have more access to the facility to continue servicing the residents of Palmview.
Perfect, thank you, well said. And again, thank you to the commission as well for agreeing with this and working with Premier as well. And thank you, Mr. Lee, as well, for making this happen. And then on item 9.2, no action.
Did we vote on that one already?
No.
9-1.
Okay,
No,
I'll
9-1.
take that back. I had a motion and a second.
You got a motion and a
We had
second?
questions. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, motion carries.
On
And
item 9.2, Mayor, we recommend no action.
no action. I have a motion.
No, you don't need a motion.
Adjourn the no
Yeah,
action.
we're just gonna skip the item.
A motion to adjourn the meeting.
I so move.
Take a motion and Mr. Ramirez a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, motion carries. At 8:35 on this beautiful evening, have a good evening, everybody.